All right, guys, we are to the final part of this three-part series. We have been talking about my new hammock setup in 2022. As you all know, I'm a ground dweller. If you're new here, I'm a ground dweller and still at heart, as I've been saying. And this is the final part of a three-part series where I talk about my hammock setup that I got at the beginning of this year and breaking down each part of it. This is the final part. This is the Hammock Gear, the Quest tarp. This is a hexagon-style tarp, has no doors, it is seal poly. And so it's probably one of the simplest tarps you can get. And I thought for my first tarp, it would be the best to do. That way I kind of just get a vibe of what I'm looking for, and it would be a simple choice, an easy choice, and just kind of be a learning lesson of how to pick a tarp that's gonna be right for me. I can definitely already tell some cool upgrades that'd be nice, especially like I just said, the doors. But today we're gonna go ahead and talk about this tarp. Again, this is not a review video. These are all items that have been out in the field for a while, but just talking about why I went with this tarp and why I'm excited to use it. So this is an 11-foot tarp. Like I said before, this is a seal poly tarp, and this is like the olive green. I wanted a black, but they were out of stock at the time, and I was kind of just ready to go ahead and get one, so I went ahead and ordered it because they had a sale going on. So it's not as camo green as I was worried it was going to be, but it's a nice clean color, and I think it'll do well. I'm kind of satisfied with it. So don't judge me too hard. I know that my Dyneema cords are a little long. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is the best length to go ahead and cut them at. So yes, they are on a little bit of a long size, but again, I just need to get them tuned to what I'm looking for. So I definitely already learned how to tie some new knots, that's for sure. But so far it's been good. It's got line locks on it. Long term, I definitely will change out the line locks on the top and probably use the Dutch wear stingers on there. I've heard a lot of good things about them, especially when it starts raining, when there's high wind. You want something that's going to do really well and stand up to it. And I've heard that these line locks can eventually start pulling apart when they're up against a lot of turbulence. So please let me know in the comments if that's true, if you've experienced that. I'd love to know and trying to figure out exactly how to handle that. I might before the end of this year go ahead and get some, but right now it's holding up so far, but it'll be test to see what happens when the seal poly tarp gets wet or when I'm really hit with some hard wind. So this is the setup I went with. I'm happy with it. It's pretty light. I definitely, as I've been before, putting all the weights on the screen. This is it. This is the final part of it. It looks pretty well. It's got 4 different tie outs. I did not get pull outs for it. I just didn't think I'd be using it that much to really even worry about it. The more I think about it, the more I should have just to have them if I need them, but it'll be okay. And the last thing to mention too is I did seam seal the top of the ridge line too. It wasn't bad. It come with the stuff to do it, and I just turned it over upside down and let it sit out here for hours. I actually did it today and went ahead and seam sealed it. So I'd done it a couple times or used it already a couple times without seam sealing it, but I knew there wasn't a chance of any rain. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get that done so it was ready to go just in case I ran into it. So this is my Hammock Gear, the Quest tarp. This is the final part, and this is the series, and I'd love to hear your comments on it and if you've had any experience with this, and sell me on why I need a Dyneema one. I know they're lighter, and I'd love to hear your experience why Dyneema worked out better for you. I've got to figure out the best setup for me long term, but I think that this will do for this year and into next year, but I will consider getting a Dyneema if I like to hammock camp more. I'm still working my way into understanding how it works and getting that diagonal lay right. So guys, this is the final part of this series. I was excited to share all of this with you. I bought it early this year, but I was finally able to share it with you now. And I'm gonna see some trip videos possibly with all this whole setup in it. So guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and we really appreciate if you would hit the like button. That's one of the easiest ways to support this channel. And guys, I just want to say thanks again for being here and following along on these videos. We do a video every Thursday, and we got some other great content as we work our way into the holidays. And I just want to say thanks for being here.